At the top of the channel display, you can check your bus assignments from each of your channels. In our example, everything is going to the 5.1 sum. Here you'll be able to see the assignments onto your sums, your auxes, your groups, and also track buses if you're using them. And the number of buses that you see here you can change in the configuration. So we are seeing groups 1 to 8 because that's what we've defined as our DSP configuration. If I want to change a bus assignment, then simply touch the display and edit the bus assigns on the touchscreen. If you've coupled a range of faders, for example by pressing the fader select buttons on these 3 microphone channels, then any changes you make will be applied to all the channels in the couple. Clear the couple by pressing a fader select button. Now we're going back to individual assignments. Remember, whenever you're editing your buses, that these are mono buses. So group buses 1 and 2 we're using as a stereo group, but we will see them as 1 for the left side and 2 for the right. If I'm making aux assignments, then the colours change depending on whether the aux is post-fader, pre-fader or pre-EQ. So in our example here, if I change the aux send to aux 1 to be pre-fader, we can see that the colours update. If you're making a bus assignment onto a 5.1 signal, as is the case with our sum buses 1 to 6, then when you make the route, the channel is routed onto all 6 outputs in one operation. So I can take the channel and route to any component within the 5.1 bus to make the assignment. When we deassign, we can edit the bus assigns individually. So this gives me the ability to assign a channel onto the 5.1 output and then take it away from the subwoofer channel, for example. So the other method we can use to check and change our bus assignments is to use the fader select buttons on the surface. And this works by selecting a channel, in this case an input channel, and we're going to route forwards onto our destinations. As soon as I press fader forward, any available destinations flash in green and those already assigned are lit in red. So I can see that this channel is routed to group 3 and to my 5.1 program output. If I want to change that, just take it away from that group, add it onto this subgroup here. I can also use a similar method to do a reverse assign. So for example, this time I'm going to select the 5.1 program output as my destination and press fader reverse. Now I can see that any of the groups could go to the program and all my channels are actually already assigned. But if I'd missed one, then it would be flashing in green and I can quickly see, I missed that channel there, push the select, it's now routed. The most important thing when you're using this method of assign is to remember to cancel out of this mode. And the quickest and simplest way to do that is to press the escape button. Another way you can check and change your bus assignments is to use the central GUI. There are 2 bus pages which are very helpful. So if we use the bus key to select these, you'll see bus assign and buses reverse. If we have a look at the forward bus assign page, this shows me everything that I'm assigned to from the channel in access. In this example, it's input 67, which I'm using for my presenter. So I can see instantly that the presenter is assigned to the stereo group, auxes 1 and 2, and my 5.1 sum and my stereo program output. If I want to edit those assignments, I can use the trackball and click on and off, or just simply reach out and use the touchscreen. Also, if I select a different channel, for example guest 1, that's now in access and I can see that that is assigned to some different auxes, but also to my 5.1 sum and program. Perhaps even more useful is the buses reverse page, because this time if I choose a destination like the stereo program, that's now in access and we are now looking in reverse at everything which is feeding that output. If I choose a different bus output, for example, the stereo group, that's now in access and I can see the input channels that are feeding the group. I can also see I made a mistake here because I want to use the group for my band channels, and oh dear, the presenter is also assigned there. So again, I can just click on that or touch the screen to unmake the assignment.